They're not going to do shit. At the end of the day, they can't do shit.
If he thinks we can't do something, you're going to look at this judge and think, I can't do something, young man. Court calls the case of the people versus Marquesi Hankey.
I'll let him know. Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Kevin Son, except for
All right, it's your motion.
They're probably previous hearing. Client suspended due to allegations that he cut off his tether contact with the client. Following that particular bond hearing, my client not contact a complaint victim, period, in the jail. Also instructed my client if allowed to keep back on bond, we would ask the court to hopefully reinstate his original bond. Tether, with no judge that he has no prior criminal, no prior felony conviction whatsoever. Following the submission of my motion, I did read the people's response, which I guess there's been allegations that my client had contacted the plaintiff subsequently. Now, I just found out today some transcripts. Obviously, people address this. Some of the language that was used in the conversations, I don't have phone conversations myself, but I will admit, Judge, that it seems that my client had contact with the plaintiff even after his bond. And so I say this, Judge, and again, I know it seems like my client is kind of throwing up his middle finger to the court.
Oh, yeah. He is.
But Judge, I just would state that this young man, I think he understands now that the court orders are serious, that the court orders him to do something it means. So Judge, I'm just asking, I guess, for some leniency to trust that Mr. Hankey will comply. He had a $75,000 cashier bond that he was able to post to a bondsman. The only thing I can ensure that if the court were to give him a second chance, he would not violate his bond, even if the bond is a house arrest with strict conditions. So Judge, I am asking the court to reinstate his bond, and if the court is unwilling to do so, I would at least ask that his phone privileges be allowed back on to at least contact family. Does he's never had any contact with his family, his children. He hasn't been able to contact his dad, caretaker before. So at the very least, there's a restriction on his phone privileges to contact family.
All right. Well, before I hear from the people, counsel, let me just say, you came in here the first time, and well, let me start with this. Where's our tether?
My understanding, Judge, I thought community corrections still had it. I thought they had become.
He cut the tether off. We haven't seen it.
Okay.
And I know you made the representation to the court, but I know you wouldn't have personally known that. I'm sure that came from your client or something along those lines. We don't have the tether back. Then, and I get you're making the representation saying your client's going to follow what the court says, but I don't know if anything can be as shocking as walking into a court free. Your bond gets revoked. You get put in jail because of something that you've done, and then you still go about violating the court's order.
Even this guy's own lawyer had to admit, I know it looks like my client's flipping off the court, and I'm sitting there thinking, no kidding, we all saw it. Then Judge Simpson drops that perfectly sarcastic, oh yeah, that just sealed it for me. And you could feel the frustration radiate through the room. I genuinely don't understand how someone cuts off their ankle monitor and actually believes they've outsmarted the system. I mean, most of us can't even dodge a parking ticket without it catching up to us. Watching this play out felt like watching someone set their own parachute on fire and then argue why they should still be allowed to skydive. To me, bond has always been a kind of handshake deal, an agreement built on trust. You break it, that's it, you've burned that bridge. Yet here he is, asking for that trust back like it's store credit you can just redeem at will. Honestly, I couldn't decide whether to laugh or sigh. It's this bizarre mix of arrogance and immaturity that's both ridiculous and sad. And I just can't imagine any judge looking at this man and thinking, yeah, he'll definitely follow the rules next time. At some point, it stops being a mistake and starts being a masterclass in self-sabotage.
I'll be honest with you, counsel. I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't have a problem giving people chances. I just don't know that this is the one to give a chance to. Because he just hasn't done anything the court's asked him to do. Ms. Senda.
Your Honor, I will rely mostly on a motion. However, in listening to his jail calls, he has 45 total calls to one number after his privileges were revoked with different pins he's using. Then to the other number, we have 23 calls that were completed since his privileges were revoked with different pins. And in one of these calls, as recently as Monday, there were a few memorable quotes that I heard in the calls, such as, "There's not shit in this world that's going to stop me from talking to you, man. Nothing in this world's stopping me from you. I don't give a fuck what nobody says about none of that. I'm going to be calling until my court date. They're not going to do shit. At the end of the day, they can't do shit. I'm going to talk to you till I can't talk to you no more. I'll be home. I'm not worried, man. I know I told you this is about to be my last call, but I'm not stopping shit. I'm not stopping nothing." And then, why stop now if they already know? So I have extreme concerns that he cannot follow court orders, considering he cut off his tether, continued flagrantly calling the victim with other pins, both numbers, acknowledging in some of the calls that he should not be contacting her, and continue to contact her. He just cannot abide by any of the court orders that are set before him. So I have great concerns, and especially given the violent nature of this case as well.
Anything else, counsel? I mean, counsel, does your client want me to just request of the jail that they put him in solitary so that he has no contact with anyone, can't use their PIN number? If he thinks we can't do something, and if you're particularly, you're going to look at this judge and think I can't do something, young man, you're going to learn a big lesson.
So I definitely don't want that. My client.
Well, he needs to, and I don't mean to interrupt you, counsel, but he needs to understand. You can say all that stuff. You are not that big, not that bad. Now, if you want to play with me, this is kids say, mess around and find out. I guess that's not the quote, but yeah, it's close. But I did pretty good. I said it okay, right now. All right.
So just, if I may, just briefly, my client would like to.
Go ahead.
I want to apologize. I don't think I'm being bad at all. It's breaking by myself. I can't say that I'm not here for nothing. You know, obviously think I'm going to be here. I just want to apologize. Like I said, I'm not being bad. I don't want to be here. I really don't. Truly. Again, please show mercy. Please.
I have no problem showing mercy to those that deserve it and have earned it. You have not. Motion for bond reduction or any change is denied. His bond will continue as revoked.
Thank you, Judge. And for the record, this is also, from my understanding, the PCC.
Yes, sir. Is all discovery complete?
And I would ask if possible, but if possible.
People have their witnesses available on the first.
We'll do our best, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person will be set April 1st, 2025, 9 a.m. in person before Judge Perry.
And Your Honor, I did want to make it clear where I did contact the jail yesterday, and they have blocked both of victims' new numbers and old numbers, so there should not be any
More calls coming through. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Honestly, I've got to side with the judge on this one. This guy doesn't deserve another chance. Not even close. I don't buy for a second that he's suddenly going to start doing what the court asks. He strikes me as the type who's never truly understood the word no. You can tell him straight to his face, and it just doesn't register. The fact that he won't stop contacting her, even bragging that the court won't do anything, that's not just arrogance anymore. That's dangerous. And it's clear why Judge Simpson isn't tolerating it. Cutting off a tether is one thing, but what really blows my mind is that he still doesn't seem to grasp who he's standing in front of. Judge Simpson isn't someone you test twice. With her, it's simple, mess around and you find out. Even his so-called apology fell flat. It didn't sound sincere. It sounded like a scripted attempt for sympathy, just checking off the box because he thought it might soften the outcome. But it didn't. At this point, jail time with 0 phone privileges feels like the only real solution. Because talk means nothing without consequence. And eventually, the system has to back its warnings with action. Thanks for watching, everyone. And if you agree that accountability matters, hit like, comment, and subscribe for the next episode of Red Carpet Crimes.